latest in Mamelodi Sundowns' very hectic schedule. Match number 45 of the season for the Brazilians. And yeah, that is quite a hectic schedule. That's why they have the kind of squad they have. We are underway then here at Dr. Sprouts in the DSP.
Okay. Welcome everybody to another Overthinking Football Watchalong. Tonight we're going to be watching Sekhukhune United versus Mamelodi Sundowns, happening at Loftus Versfeld Stadium. This is another game for Mamelodi Sundowns, who play literally almost every 2 or 3 days. Hey guys, I didn't even know this game was playing yesterday when I thought about it. And it's only when I went to go check that I was like, hi man, there's something playing here. But anyway, Mamelodi Sundowns come into this game, of course, number one in the league. They've been number one for a while. 21 games played, 16 wins, 5 draws, no losses. Mamelodi Sundowns is 21 games into this season, and they have yet to lose, and they've scored. 1 minute in, Suganje. Mamelodi Sundowns have taken the lead versus Sekhukhune 1 minute into the game. They haven't even given us a chance, to go through the records and give them their flowers and all of that stuff. They've gone in and ball straight through the middle. Tash able to take advantage of that after I think it's Morena wasn't able to take advantage. Tash has scored 1-0, 1 minute in. Can this team be stopped, guys? Can this team be stopped? No. And guys, I was still in my intro. This is a changed team. Mamelodi Sundowns have Dennis Onyango in goal, Mabue, Brian Onyango, Lebusa Kutsie making a comeback, the originator of the Kutsie role that we love speaking about. You have Nku Maema, Mkhulisi Morena, Matthews, and Mendieta. It's a completely different team than normal, and obviously it's because they play so many games. They had to gym in the middle of the night. Come midnight, Mamelodi Sundowns was gymming. Yeah, you guys were making fun of Kaizer Chiefs for gymming at 2 a.m. at 12, Livona. But to be fair to them, it is down to their pack schedule. But as we have it right now, Mamelodi Sundowns has taken the lead, 1-0. Sekhukhune United comes into this game, number 4 in the league. 24 games played, 11 wins, 6 draws, and 7 losses for a grand total of 39 points. They sit a good 13 points behind Mamelodi Sundowns, who have 3 games in hand. Those games in hand are starting to come up. It was Tash. It was Williams, Tashriq Williams scored the goal. Their starting lineup has Sangare. We have bafana stalwart Mobi. We have Tiwani Tibwabwa. But also makes a return to the team. Mchali Mokwena, Weber, Captain Fantastic Linda Mtambo, who had in the past 5 games for Sekhukhune, 3 of those games were incredible. Tashriq Matthews. Anyway, he's been playing so well, won himself a player of the month, and I believe Coach was also coach of the month last month. And then you have Umkize Nomngube, who are the guys. Let's see. Agent says, what did I say about the team? Hey, man, that group was on fire just now. Tisha Omswazi says, let them win Nedbank Cup, then we will, I'm guessing, celebrate them. Hi, guys. Why must they also win the Nedbank Cup and all of those things to be celebrated? I only thought I want to see Emma. PK, PK, it was just last week. I just had to deal with some family things, but I'm back, guys. I'm back. Let's go. We're going to be here for these matches. So we had a very interesting conversation in the group coming into this game. And it was around the roles that are played within that team. And hopefully in the second half, I'll keep it open and I'll allow some of the gents who are in the Overthinking Football WhatsApp group, if you want to join it, head on over to YouTube, click on subscribe, click on join. We had a conversation about Mamelodi Sundowns and the roles that the different players play, and specifically Ukutsie. I'm one of the people, and Agent is one of the people. We call it the Kutsie role. Man has played 9 games this season, apparently. But we already have a role for him where we say this is the Kutsie role, where it's a half center back, half CDM type role. And we were speaking about how it's played and why it's played and things like that, which is a very interesting conversation to have. On the one hand, you don't see it much, you know. Part of his role is to progress the ball up. They give him the ball, first port of call for Williams. He plays the ball up, but also, here comes Sekhukhune. Ah, it's Sekhukhune. Linda. Oh, Linda. And Linda decides to put it to the side. I don't want to curse these players, man. I don't want to curse these players. I recently loaded something. Linda?
Bafana, man. Oh, what?
Linda. Can anyone tell me why Rivaldo and Bullet don't play regularly? Rivaldo is injured most of the time. Rivaldo is one of the unluckiest footballers when it comes to injuries. So he's very, very injury prone. And if you don't see him in the starting lineup, it's mostly because he's injured. Agent, I believe it's Agent. Agent always makes the point that, oh, here comes Sundowns again. 2-0. Here comes Sundowns again. 2-0. Yo, guys. Oh, the hour. It's Sekhukhune.
I can see what they're doing, what he's doing. I can see it, I feel it. I can, he's cooking.
2-0, guys. 2-0. 7 minutes in. 2-0. Failed back pass. Let's see. There was a back pass. Tried to play it out. Miss kick. Ball played across. Tash has got a goal. He's got a goal and an assist right now. Mokwena scored it. Yeah. Hey, Sundowns is cooking, man. Hi, Sundowns is cooking. How are you 7 minutes into a game? 7 minutes into a game. And
We are cruising nicely.
they are cruising so nicely. What do you want to say about this team? Ntuchel. Steve Ramovich was right. Come, OT, don't tell me about injuries. Mangoba Mnuti believed in him, but Rulani is killing us. No, actually, it's documented. He's Ukutsia struggles with injuries. He's first choice for Rulani most of the time. But yeah, he's very, to get 3 games out of Kutsia is lucky. To get 3. This season he's only played 9 and he hasn't been on the bench. He's been on stage rehab, the stage Theta Sundowns. But then again, trauma, we blew 2-0 lead last time. Let's see. You know, this fake teams, sometimes they make me sick as bro killer. Which fake teams? Morena and Matthews to start over the weekend. What I will say is Tash should be the first sub. Matthews, he should be the first sub. I don't want to see Omasego versus ES Tunis, right? If I'm going to make a sub, I'd do it. I wouldn't start them. I don't think I'd start them. 2-0 already, Tony Donald. 2-0 already. Oh, PK. I get it, PK. I told you. DM me. I'll send you the link. I think maybe it's a link problem. Kutsia is still suffering from that injury, which cost him the Celtics deal. Guys, hands off Masego, he's the future. No, Kataza. Personally, I'm not saying that Masego is a bad player. I'm saying that Masego, for this stage of the season, same move. Sekhukhune. How are you undone by the same move? I don't get it. In fact, Cash made a mistake there by not playing. He could have played the same ball he played for the second goal. He tried to play it around the defender, should have just played it behind him. How are you getting caught out like this, Sekhukhune? So early on. Hey, Ultra, yeah? Ultra Sundowns. Ultra Sundowns is playing the ball in the air. It's not touching the ground. There's the hour, guys. It's still first half. They're in Panic Island. Wait. It's like I knew today. It's like I knew today that I needed to load these things. Wait. Where's this other one? Where's this other one?
La penica. Uala na penica. No peniki shatot.
Peniki shatot. They're penny skiing. Come peniki right now. Y'all are hating on Masego. We won AFL and came third with AFCON with him. Maraloch is starting. Oh no, this is not to get sure. Kataza, Marakataza, you're with us most of the time. I don't think Lot should be starting. I definitely don't think Lot should be starting. He's part of the experiments that I questioned from Rulani, where I'm like, at this stage of the season, maybe in the league, play Lot and play Masego so that they can grow. Or in Masego's case, to grow. But then in Lot's case, to start fitting in. You can't be bringing Lot in versus ES Tunis. And then the sad part about the Lot game, to be fair to him, Lot started playing well when he started free rolling. And the minute he started playing well, 5 minutes later, Rulani took him out. So it's not about Lodge. Don't think when we speak about Masego, we're speaking about Lodge. I'm saying that don't mess around right now. Don't experiment right now. So if I was Rulani, if I'm being honest, and I have to see how he's going to play this game, Rivaldo makes it back into the team. You play the front three with Zwane, Ribeiro Shalulile, maybe Cirino coming in later on. You keep the midfield as Allende Mokwena. Who plays with Allende? It's Allende Mokwena. And then you have Umudiba inverting. You bring in AB, you relax. Play exactly how you're playing at the beginning of the season when you're dominant. These experiments that they're doing now, where he's now crossing the ball and he's playing these weird cross. No. It's not something Sundowns should be doing right now. So no, it's not about Masego. Tap the screen. Thank you, Velile. Tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen. Patrice Loch hit me on Friday. Says PK. Loch must be sent back to Pirates. He started killing us against Yanga. But guys, he's a January signing. He's a January signing in a team that plays completely different to how he plays. In fact, I sometimes question Rulani when it comes to Lodge because somebody had mentioned it before. Mendieta, was that a Rapona? It's Sekhukhune. When people are doing tricks, was that a... No, wait. Was that a Rapona flick? Wait, let's see. Is it Rapona, ne? Yeah, it was a Rapona. Hey, PSL players sometimes. Oh, Morena, so unlucky when it comes to finishing. Morena, so unlucky. Masego needs to go to DDC. Nah, I don't think it's that bad. I just think that whatever coaching that needs to happen needs to be more intensified. And Rulani has said on occasion that he doesn't have the same time with the players as he normally has, because they're usually in preparation mode, not necessarily in coaching mode. So I think Masego, he just needs some more time with Rulani. I wouldn't play him. That's why I'm like, I wouldn't trust him all the time. But to his credit, most valuable player of the AFL. Agent, tell Kataza about Mbule. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so how are you doing? How are you doing, my brother? Butar says, I'm happy. Oh, I'm so happy Kutsia's back. I'm also so happy, my brother, Kutsia's back. He's what makes the team tick. He's what makes the team tick. But he let them dance. Why was he signed in the first place? If Rulani doesn't want to win CAF, he must be demoted. Oh, are we talking about Lodge? This is what I feel about Lodge. I feel that Lodge has an X factor. I feel like Lodge, had he come in at the beginning of the season, I think how I would use Lodge is the way Pirates uses Saleh. In that, oh well, in recent times, in that when you need a last minute, last 15 minutes, last 20 minutes, I think he's got the magic. I think he's got that magic, right? What's happening with Lodge right now, in my opinion, is that Lodge has just arrived. Bamnigas the manual, but please read the manual. He's still learning. He's still learning how to move like a Sundowns player, how to make his space and all that. And I actually think that's not why you bring Lodge. I think you bring Lodge, again, last 20 minutes in a CAF Champions League semi-final. I bring in Lodge. Big game player, big moment player. Might not know the system back to front, but he's got that little something. I also thought Lodge would be an incredible addition, or maybe we'll see it as we go on next season, most probably, where I think Lodge and Zwane could be very good for each other. Initially, I said that I think they're a like-for-like change, but if you can let them dance, as was said here, if you can let them dance, Bali too, I think Zwane can have somebody to, knock it around with, that he doesn't necessarily have with Shalulile and Ribeiro, No, hey, I wasn't in this weekend. Maybe Maseo can be developed by the DDC coach. He's a very good coach. Mara DDC, I don't know if Masego is DDC level. I don't know. I don't think Masego's problems are, how do I put it? Game driven, like they are because the moment is too big for him. I just think he needs coaching. That thing that you guys always say when Tsov got to Sundowns, when Tico got to Sundowns and they said, hey, it's a different system. I think that's what's going to happen with time, I guess. Oh, my major point is, this is where you play Masego. You are unbeaten in the league. You've got a sizable gap between everybody else. You've got games in hand. Play him here where you can maybe get that coaching time that you don't get during the week. You don't want to be coaching somebody, she's a Tunisia. You get what I mean? You don't want to be coaching, Masego in a CAF Champions League final because it's unfair. You don't want to be having Lodge figuring out how to play, but he's doing it in some of the hardest conditions. That's my thing. He liked Lodge when he was at Pirates, but he forgot that Lodge played a free role at Pirates. But he knows about Lodge.
That's the Nyoso I don't want another Nyoso. I didn't bring the other Nyoso. I brought the Nyoso that I need. Because that's not the Nyoso that I want. The Nyoso I want is got pressure, stress, he's dodgy, he's dribbling, he's short, he's assisting, he's breaking down. This is the Nyoso I need. Now when I don't get the Nyoso, then one sort of thing will get you.
He knows about the Nyoso. But the Nyoso hasn't been Nyosoring on the pitch. And you can tell that that is a coaching decision. Shem Rivaldo. Hey, Shem Rivaldo is not up to speed, eh? We spoke, agent, earlier. before this match started. Alright, we might be cursing him, asking him to be strong. Here, after injury, it might not be the same player. At least for the first game. The Onyango brothers will cost us. They shouldn't play it from the back. That's why I'm struggling, because playing from the back usually means playing through Rivaldo, but they're not playing through Rivaldo. Kim Kulise, who's going all the way back to fetch it. One thing about this game definitely showing is we could have rotated and managed the players a bit differently. Well, if I speak, I am in trouble. If I speak, I am in trouble. A couple of months ago, or a few weeks ago, I'm not sure how long ago it was, I made a suggestion, even beginning of the season, I made a suggestion as to how you rotate when you have a packed schedule. I made one. I spoke about it and people said, aye, it's going to mess with team chemistry and what. And I was like, aye, okay. It's going to create civil wars. Okay. You could have been doing this. You could have been doing this. But let me, I'm not going to open that can of worms. X Factor, don't make me laugh, OT. Guys, he's not Sundowns players, he's old. Well, okay, Kataza. When we talk about premium big match temperament players, you can't let go of Lodge. You can't leave Lodge out of it. Let's be honest. You can't leave Lodge out of it. And if I'm a team that's going to go play big games, having Lodge on the bench and the possibility of having Lodge come on, for me, is incredible. The only problem is that Rulani is trying to make him a first-team player too quickly, but also it's not gelling with what he normally does. Lodge is a free role player. Guys, against Esperance, right before Lodge came off, maybe the 5-10 minutes where he was going to the left-hand side and coming back, he looked pretty good. He looked up for it. So I don't want to, I'm not even a Pirates fan, but you can't negate that Lodge has that thing. Lodge has that thing. But how do we coach him when there's no time? Like Mokwena plays both teams. And that's why I'm saying that rather leave him out for now. Or Masek, leave him out. It's okay. Don't bring him in hot situations now at the end of the season with everything. Think about it, guys. Think about it. At this point of the season, when you're going into the Champions League, they're in the semifinals right now. What are some of the things that are going through the players' heads and the coaches' heads? We went out of the semifinal last time. We haven't won since 2016. There's a lot of questions that are being asked of us. There's so many things that are happening. Why would you give that to a player who we all say is one-dimensional coach? Weber. Weber heads it over. This is the Sekhukhune I know, but maybe it's because Sundowns has come down. This is the Sekhukhune I know. Hey, Kutsi is nowhere to be seen, man. Yeah, Kutsi is nowhere to be seen, guys. Oliver Kutso says, I'm sure Rivaldo is injured right now. This B team should play against Kaizer Chiefs. Leave us. Wait, Kutsi is captain, not Onyango. Interesting. Okay, what does Lodge bring that we don't have? I can't be benching Cirino for this man. But that's why I'm saying that he's a January signing that is still acclimatizing to this team. That's why I was like, leave him out of the big games and bring in Bosirino, right, for these games. Play Lodge versus Sekhukhune. This is a Lodge game where he's learning about what the team does. Play him here. Don't play him against Esperance. You get what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. That's literally what I'm trying to say, that play Cirino there. Don't play Masego when you go to this Esperance game. Rather play Tash. Rather play somebody else. Chris looks like he's finally took up. Kumo. Yo, you almost got me there. You almost had me. I almost said it. I think Lodge is not free because competition is very high at Sundowns. He's bottled up. No, it doesn't. We made him look like he's got it. Yeah, man, venile. Hey, okay. Paris fans saying that Lost doesn't have it. Okay, guys. I don't know, but if you guys believe that, it's okay. Anyway, 24 minutes in, it is 2-0. It has calmed down. Sekhukhune was messy very early, and they paid the price for being messy very early. Mamelodi Sundowns was able to get the 2 goals very early on. First goal, first minute of the game. Now Sekhukhune is trying to claw themselves back into the game. But again, is it a situation where Sekhukhune is waking up, or is it because Sundowns has a 2-0 lead? Those are the questions that you'd have to ask. Last 5 games for both teams. Sekhukhune has won 1, Sekhukhune has won 3 and drawn 2. Their last game being a 1-0 win versus Cape Town Spurs on the 20th. Mamelodi Sundowns have won 3, lost 1 and drawn 1, with the last game that they've lost, the last game being versus AS Tunis, a game that they lost altogether. These teams in the last 5 games that they've played together, Mamelodi Sundowns has won 4 of those games, with one of those games being drawn, with the last time these guys met being on the 4th of August 2023, where Mamelodi Sundowns won by 2-1. That is how it looks. The last time Sekhukhune was able to get something was in 2022 versus Mamelodi Sundowns. So let's see how it pans out. Of course, this Sekhukhune United side, man, they've got all types of experience. They've got all types of players. You know, Mokwena is a Bafana player who everybody wants him to now be a starting role. Bafana be steering. You've got Umobi, Stalwart, Sago Hugo Bruce. You've got players like Linda Mtambo. Wealth of experience coming from a Pirates. My captain, really pulled this team out of a tough situation when he came back from injury. So you can't say it's a bad team. Sundowns is a 2-0 lead. Yes, Mulanto, it's 2-0, it's 2-0. You see, Velile, you guys, sometimes you're so ungovernable there in the comments. And I can't even join in because I can't say these things. I must be a responsible host of this show, Mar. Hey, you guys. Okay, here we go. Free kick to Sekhukhune. Like I said, 27 minutes in. And it is 2-0. I think I'm just sad for Rivaldo, man. Rivaldo hasn't looked himself, man. Hasn't looked himself. Hopefully, they use this game as warm-up for him, and then he'll be able to play. Our agent, that's why I said again, when we speak about players. You never know what's happening with these guys. I just want to make sure of something. Counter happy. Tash. Tash went to the left-hand side and lost it. Okay, guys, if we can get 15,000 likes, it's free. You just tap the screen. Just tap the screen as many times as humanly possible. I will keep it open during the second half. And by keep it open, for those who are here for the first time, at halftime, I allow in 6 people. And we have a conversation about what we saw in the first half. Then usually I close it again and we only see each other at the end of the game. But if we can get to 15,000 likes, I will open it up and keep it open for the rest of the half so that everybody can come in and have their say on this here game. So tap the screen, guys. It's free. Tap on. Tap on. Just tap, guys. Just tap. Let's see. Ariel, Mr. Oti thought you were banned. I was banned. I actually was banned. Very weirdly, they were saying that I was not doing original content, even though I was live on my show, like I normally am. You get given a gift. Me either. I'm Suti. I was banned for 2 days, but then I had to deal with family issues, so I was gone for Thursday until Sunday. I wasn't here, so, but I am back. Here we go. Make the right decision. That's the wrong decision. Oh, Onyango, did he get trampled there? Drew says Sundowns forever. Okay. Given such a nice gift and they don't use it. Such a nice gift and they don't use it. As Pello on YouTube says, Matthews is the future. I love him. I think the stumbling block about young players, in my opinion, the stumbling block when it comes to young players is that he's still raw right now. So you can even see it with Umasego. He's still raw. He still has that youth where they'll take the ball and want to run at defenders and they want to do all of these things and they want to go in and they want to attack and they want to go one-on-one, put players under pressure. They still have that youth. The tough part is when now that youth part has left you, can you then become that player or adapt to being that player? I don't know if I'm making sense, right? It's nice when they're raw. You saw like Mfundo Vilakazi, for example. He comes on and, he's doing all of these things. You can tell that he's confident, boy. But then what separates him from Mdu Shabalala, who maybe hasn't taken that next step? So let's see what Sundowns grooming can do. Velile says they allowed you back because they saw that your problems are too much, taking into consideration Kaizer Chiefs. Don't do that, Velile. No. I feel like when Chiefs plays, I'm just gonna play myself on a loop because we're saying the same things. I say the same things every day. He was probably developed in Europe. Probably. Was he? Cash. Yeah. Kutsia is not aggressive. It looks like they told him not to be aggressive, says Uvutar. I think they're scared. Like I said, Ukutsia has a long injury. It's very easy for him to get injured. So I think they tell him, Bakai, slow down, run at 70, Run at 70. Brian Onyango and Libusa bafuna ukusidlisa. When I tell you guys that I think Sundowns defense is not as strong as we make it out to be. But I don't want to fight with people. Matthew's loan at Stellies would have been great for him. Stellies is not taking your rich eggs, guys. Stellies is serious now. Stellies is serious now. They're not taking your rich eggs. They're not playing that game now. They've signed people to long-term contracts. They want to go win stuff now. You guys will see what it's like to have a safety net. Rupert. Agent says yes, developed in Dortmund. Okay, he was developed in Dortmund, Nabo Sancho. Okay. But we'll see. We'll see. That's why I'm saying that for me, it feels as though, kicked. Linda, did he kick him? Oh, shame. Dennis Onyango just came back. Does this mean we finally get to see February? Oh, Onyango Abad. Go away, go away. Hey, Kumbo. Don't drag me into that chat. I was just saying that they're not as strong as we say they are. In terms of, I don't think teams understand that if you go at them, you can get something. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not something that can be done anyway. But if you go at this Sundowns defense, you can get something. They kick him in the head. What happened? Onyang. Yeah. Oh, kicked in the face. Kicked in the face. Change of goalkeeper, says Mulan Toya. ADL Richards Bay goalkeeper and mediated Kaizer Chiefs. I don't want to speak about anything. No, I'm talking this in general. Yo, guys, in general. And again, it's not to do with Sundowns. It's to do with the other teams. They don't realize that you can go at Sundowns. There are vulnerabilities at Sundowns. When they commit when they commit all their players forward and they leave two people in defense, that's an issue. When AB plays left center back, when AB plays left center back and you drag him out of position, there's issues. Umudau, for example, on the other side, commits way too many fouls, and he's always panicky with his sliding tackles, always gets yellow cards. I've never seen a team go back and say, let's go at him for the rest of the game. You get what I mean? And that is the problem with the PSL as a whole for me, that they don't plan to go break Sundowns. If that makes sense. They plan to defend versus Sundowns, but you don't see them going out and playing. And it doesn't mean you're going to win. And it doesn't mean you have to go pound for pound. It means that you have to have a plan, right? I'll give you a stupid example. Chiefs played Sundowns a few times this season. 1-1 draws, it's been close at times. My cry was, when we get the ball back, can you attack somebody through the pace of Dupree's? So there was a situation where AB got brought out of onto the side, and I believe he got a yellow card because of Thingy's pace and because they had committed so many players forward. So now my question then to the coaching staff was that, now you've seen it work once, why didn't you continue doing that until something happened? Rulani took him off as a precaution. Rulani again against Kaizer Chiefs spoke about Umudau, where he was like, I defended, I had Umudau, and when he scored the header, he was like, I defended, I had Umudau. I was scared, I was wary that Chiefs would attack on that side. But the moment they didn't, and we saw that they didn't come for us or notice that there's something there, I pushed him forward. That's where the goal came from. So a lot of PSL teams don't have a plan when they come into Sundowns. And you could argue that most PSL teams don't have a plan when they play against other PSL teams. And that's why they struggle. You know? Like here, Sekhukhune has broken up the right-hand side a couple of times. We've seen that Libusa has a problem. You've seen that Brian Onyango is not necessarily very comfortable on the ball, right? Press him. You've seen that Rivaldo Kutsia is not the guy. He's shying away from the ball. He's not getting the ball. He's timid. He's all of those things. A slight press, a three-man press, could probably make a lot of problems for that Sundowns defense. Has Sekhukhune done it over and over again? No. Much low. We'll finally see February. February has come on for Onyango. Hopefully, it's not a bad injury and it's just the concussion protocol that has taken Onyango out. Hopefully. It would be sad to see him get injured, Shem, and finally get some game time and gets injured. Sundowns defense has always been suspect for as long as I remember Sundowns. Maybe last time Ezra. That's what I'm trying to say, Agent. Who is February? Where's Peterson? Ah, Kumbo, you don't know February. Okay. It's not the day. This is not the day. We were better at the shoot era, but still our strength has never been defense. We defended by the ball. Exactly. The only team that goes pound for pound with Sundowns is Pirates. Oh, Lebza, thank you for the gifts. Malume Kutsa, thank you for the gifts. Guys, send them a gift. And then like it. Guys. Just tap the screen. That's all you need to do. I think again, for me, it's my cry about the PSL in general. My cry about the PSL in general is that they'll come out and play versus Sundowns, for example, and they'll go, all we're doing today is surviving. All we're doing today, that's it. We don't want to do anything else. We're not going to try progress the ball. We're not going to commit people forward. We're not going to do any of those things. We're just going to sit back and see what happens. Defensive doesn't mean that you don't have a plan or you can't win games. Defensive doesn't mean that when you win the ball back, you don't have a plan, even if it's committing 2 people. Guys, Stellenbosch usually commits 2 people in their counterattacks. 3, maybe if you add in both titles. They commit 2 or 3 people in their counterattacks. Defend well, win the ball back, go. They understand that these are the 2-3 chances we're going to get the ball and go, right? So we need to have a plan for how we're going to play out. We saw it play out versus Pirates, for example. We saw them play some games that have been very good, right? So now teams come into games versus Sundowns, and if I'm Siema, Coach Siema, I'm going, Mabue, Onyango, Lebusa, Kutsie. Those guys have not played together. We know Brian Onyango is not the best on the ball. We know Mabue is rusty. We know Lebusa has some mistakes in him. Kutsie is probably not going to play that hard, especially in the early moments of the game. Let's take advantage. When you win the ball, Linda, this is the run that you make. You get me? We don't do that in the PSL. But anyway, Butlari, thank you so much for the gift. Kana, this Sekhukhune did beat the cup specialist. Real talk, he's a good keeper, shining prospect of the country. Not just in the PSL, we have African Giants parking the bus against Sundowns, to be fair. But Kataza, is it really parking the bus? As these key with young Africans had a few chances versus Sundowns, it looked like it was parking the bus. Ahly was maybe the purest parking of the bus that we saw. We did came at Sundowns in the first leg of the AFL final. Second leg, they decided to go to the bus, but of course they're leading 2-1, right? I think TP Mazembe went at Sundowns the one game. They did very well. They got something out of it. Yanga didn't necessarily sit all the way back in comparison to how PSL teams sit back. So again, defensive is not the issue. What are you doing, Masenwini Paula? What are you doing when you're going forward? You know, that's the question. Ahmed Loftus, the whole Sundowns back three can't play from the back, says Urumelelo. Tokozisi says, even Esperance decided not to attack Sundowns. Surely there's something special about the way they defend. No, that Brazilian got through a lot of times. I don't know if that was, but okay, guys. Literally the team of the month, but today tactics are questionable. Thank you, Spusi. So thank you for tapping. Thank you for tapping. Guys, who said Sundowns can't defend? Marakataza. Aye, guys. They'll suspend you again. Hey, let's try it, Velid. They'll suspend me if I get too many gifts. Sendani spawn. Sekhukhune coach said we have a point. Let's try and come away with it. The Sekhukhune coach said we have a point. Let's try and come away. Yeah, they're trying to escape with a point. They're not trying to win games. Smuda, thank you for the rose. On transition, Yanga were non-existent in the first half, guys. Were they? I don't know. But okay, guys. Okay. I want to ask Lynn about parking the bus. Halftime, guys. I'm gonna open up. You stop saying send. Send. Agent, do you know what my problem is, ne? A lot of times when we have football conversations, the football conversations are so simply said. I was very careful with my words to say that there are situations where you can catch Sundowns off guard. And I'm expecting more teams to go and do their research and go, oh, this one is slow. That one does this. This one is like this. When they do this, they do this. Here's a simple one. Earlier in the season, Sundowns was escaping with 22 fouls in a game. 22 fouls. on transition where Mokwena does a little bit just to stop your guys' momentum. So now I'm going, if I'm a coach at that point, I go, oh, Mokwena has now fouled 6 of my players. The ref is not saying anything. Guys, complain and go at him. It might not lead to a goal, but it's going to make Rulani have to think, oh, we minus someone. Mudau's on a yellow card. Fine, don't get a shot at goal. But go at Mudau so that he can get a red, or Rulani has to make another plan or pull somebody else back. It's about questions and answers. It's about questions and answers. But now our team sit back and they're like, no, Sundowns is too much. Yeah, Sundowns, you can't do this. Sundowns, how do you play pound for pound? Why would you go at them? Hi, guys. Every team has weaknesses to exploit. And it's not to say that those weaknesses are easy to exploit either. But how many PSL teams do you see coming with a plan? How many PSL teams do you see play a Festa versus Sundowns? They concede a goal. Then in the second half, for my 60 minutes, they go, yes, we are losing. Then they start playing out their skins. And you're like, that was the same exact defense you were playing against in the first half. Same exact defense. Amazulu's now getting disallowed goals. Lava now doing this. They're now moving like this. And you look at them and you go, guys, it's the same defense you were playing in the first half. Difference is you came here for a draw, you got punched in the mouth, and now you have to come out and do something. By that time, it's too late. In fact, by that time, your desperation will pull you so far out of your positions, Sundowns will take advantage of that too. That is what I'm talking about here. Guys, we are heading into halftime. Please remember that you can request. Requesting is for those that follow me, only those that follow me. So please follow. And then at the bottom of your screen, there'll be a button that says multi-guest. Blue figure hugging a pink figure. Click on that request, I let you in. I'm going to take 6 people. And if you can get to 15,000 likes, I will keep it rolling. Everybody will get 2 minutes to say whatever they want to say for the rest of the second half. So we need to get to 15,000 likes though. And we'll go from there as we looking halftime in the face. Be bold, man, and you're right. We defend with the ball. Imagine saying Man City, we don't. Like the conversations become binary. They become 2 things. It's either you're saying this. It's like when I say go out and be positive versus Sundowns, people go pound for pound, and I'm like, no. Pound for pound is not positive. Pound for pound can be positive, but it's not the same thing. It's not what we're speaking about. When was the last time we signed the defender of the season? Let's see the first 11. Oh, Mara Lloyd, it's scrolling, Lloyd. It's scrolling, though. February made a great save. Oh, Lloyd, it's scrolling. Don't worry. It's going to come. It's going to come. Between the AFL and CAF Champions League, which teams went pound for pound with us for 2 legs? You see why I'm saying, Kataza, you don't need to go pound for pound. It's not the point. Okay, 6 minutes have been added on, obviously, for what happened to Dennis Onyango and the time that took. We will hear, I guess, after the game, what stage he's going to be in of injury. Romelelo, thank you for the gifts. Spuda, thank you for the gifts. Lebza, Butare, Malume Kutso, thank you for dropping roses. It does really help a lot. We are on 10.6K. likes, 10,600 likes. Can we get to 15K? Kitlaibula sekwana Africa ufela ribuwe. See what's happening on YouTube. Fundo Mgenge says, my guy's a Sundowns fan or follower. I feel like you are jealous. I have watched many of your analysis. Okay. Sure. I don't know what to say. Kumoto says Izonyango being substituted. Yes. Injury, got kicked in the face. Kumoto also says the teams, I think some teams try that. And again, guys, it's not to win. Sometimes you're not doing these things to win, you know? The thing is, Launch misses clears chances, says Muloko Jerry on the other stream. For me, I think this B team is the one that can beat Esperance on Friday. But because of favoritism, we won't play, says Bongani. Also on YouTube, where's Shalulile? Shalulile is not on the bench. There's no, it seems as though all of the first team, quote unquote, players are nowhere here. The bench for Mamelodi Sundowns is February, Mashego Siabi, Mbulenkosi, Buthelezi, Mabena, Esquivel, and Sereno. I'm guessing after that midnight practice that they had, man. That midnight practice they had, they were like, I can't play these guys. And it's sad, Shem. You play on Saturday in Tunisia, you're playing on Tuesday in SA. You don't have time to do a lot of things. My point is, even the biggest teams in Africa can't break the defense, so PSL teams don't have a prayer. Yeah, well, an NFD team did very well against you guys. I don't know if that's why I'm like, these things are speaking. An NFD team did very well. A Chiefs team whose coach was fired eventually did very well against Chiefs. But it's fine. Okay, guys, I'm going to open up. Please remember, you have to be following me in order to come in. I'm going to let in 6 people. And then if we can get to 15,000 likes, we'll just carry on rolling throughout the second half. Kumo, welcome, my brother. How are you?
Hey, how's it? Thank you for having me. First of all, I would like to clarify something.
Yeah.
Rulani is not wearing a Daha shirt. Traveling to grab passport. It's a Canadian symbol, national flower, clover. But anyway, I will bring the philosophy again.
Hey,
On the game,
the first half, you guys.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, then it's more of a case Sekhukhune being bad. There was Sundowns combination play was a bit sloppy at times.
Okay.
Some of the players were protected in terms of other players' individual brilliance. I saw on the bench that we have Mabena and Buthelezi. Based on their performance weekend, they go MDC. Wow, I hope they can come in like in the 70th minute, because those 2 boys, this game needs them. They're gonna do magic, you know. Mara, I hear people keep saying, "What this team?" Sorry.
Sirino abantu kubo.
Kwa cafe the man kwa cafe. I agree with Norma Ben one play cafe. To rather adlala le Malimpopo. So after we tell us a chance, I can live February Shifa, he's doing some great. And for the record, I knew who February was. I was just pulling the meat, you know. Okay. But yeah, man, this gave me, man, another thing. I'm surprised, or I'm happy for Moreno. I agree he was getting a bashing, especially last week, Kukef. So I'm glad he was able to have an assist and a goal. My boy, the speedy Tashigle, and showing signs of improvement. Hopeful for the future. So yeah, but other than that, it's a mundane game. There's nothing really excited. Okay. But yeah, okay. 2 points, two goals, I'll take.
Okay. Let me go to Agent. Agent, welcome, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. What did you do to your TikTok now?
What do you mean?
It was fine the other last time. Was it yesterday?
Hey, I don't know anymore.
Now the quiz back, and it's on steroids. But
how did you see the game? Let me do this.
So this is why sometimes you encourage people to join the group, because some of those things we see them in advance, you know. I said before the game that maybe this is a team which on paper looks much better and much more balanced than the first team, you know. Obviously Mandela, the big three is not make sure, but if you look at in the middle, we have Mkhulisi, Nkumaema, and Mabue. Those are very quick players, you know. And then up top, you have Mendieta, Matthews, Morena. Those are very quick players. So this team is a very quick team, you know. So I'm not surprised that the goals that we scored are not your typical D-Daka, but are very fast goals where through ball, try and finish, you know.
Down the center. Down the center, you know? Even.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, it's a very good squad. I've been impressed with Mkhulisi. I think he's getting match fitness. He's not playing the game.
Yeah.
For him, this is a match fitness exercise. You know, he's he reminds me of a certain former president, you know, who was there just for vibes, you know, like I'm not touching anything, you know. So he's reminding me of that. He's just there to add numbers and just walk around and do stuff like that. Nothing aggressive. So Mkhulisi is the one who is doing a lot of the work because he has to drop deep, collect the ball, and then progress it forward and give it to Nkumaema, you know. And then Matthews, his intelligence end of the run balls are very interesting, you know. And Mendieta, lastly, I know it's a bad thing, but I like his aggressiveness, you know, because it helps you win the ball, you know. And obviously he did a Rabona. He gets extra points for that.
I'm gonna come back. I want to speak to you about that one. Khoza, welcome to the show. How are you?
Sure.
I think it's just cut there. Khoza, tell me, what did you see from this first half? Welcome.
Yeah, man, it's good, my brother. It's good. But one comment I want to make: when you speak about rotating the team, you don't rotate the team when now you are playing Goliath on Friday.
Yeah,
you understand.
Yeah,
you don't. That's not a rotation. But I think my colleagues here from the other Soweto teams, they sometimes they get dizzy when it comes to these things because they're not used to them. Yeah, they can play one scheme for the whole season. There's no pressure. They play one game a week. Tina, we've been here long time, my brother. Even before Motsepe, these guys were already in Africa. You understand? The rotation is a part and parcel. In the 21st century, we've been rotating, my brother. I think our first final was in 2001. We have to rotate, my brother. Now, my thing, I asked you about Umbule.
Yeah.
Umbule, okay, is not playing on against Esperance on the weekend. You do not start him again against Sekhukhune in the league. You won't start him again, I bet, against Esperance in the second leg. Why did you buy him? Because clearly there's no plan there. You understand where I'm trying to get at? We have a guy like Pitso. Mkhulisi is a gem, my brother. He's a gem. That guy shouldn't just be playing against Sekhukhune to rotate. But just to move on quickly to the other players, I'm happy with Umfana, the colored boy that we just got. Ngiyambona ukuthi uyimisele and is going to be a good signing for Sundowns. Yabo? But Rulani must rotate. Let's call the rotation. You rotate when things are good.
Yeah.
So when things are bad, guys are ready. Your rhythm is there. You don't say Kumutu's hasn't played for 4 months. And now you're like, hey, now you must do miracles. No, you don't do that. So I think Rulani, he won the AFL, it's fine. But you all know that doesn't count. We need to win the Champions League for us to be eligible to play the inaugural Club World Cup next year. That's going to have 32 teams. If this guy does not win, he must move. Because why was he set aside? He was not. So he must be fair. What's good for the goose must be good for the can. That's what I'm saying. He must rotate players. Stop buying players willy-nilly. I'm a Sundowns fan because Patumbula, I'm a fan. I'm a Sundowns fan, but I question why Lodge is being bought in January. If Lodge Bumtinga, as you are saying, what he needs a preseason, make a deal with the Pirates. You know, when you sign a player and you leave them at Pirates, and bring them in the summer when you can assimilate them properly into the team. Right now, we've bought a so-called star player in the PSL, but basically it's useless for Sundowns. Because now we are bringing him, playing Ahly, Esperance, that's like playing Madrid or Barcelona in Europe. Those are the big boys that run this place. Now I'm putting Lodge is playing 80 minutes. Now it's as if Lodge can't play now. So it's like they are sabotaging the boy.
For time's sake.
Yeah, but thanks. That's
Okay.
it.
For time, I just have to jump in. Let me go to Butare. Butare, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Tell me, what did you see from this game?
In fact, before I continue, I am great. Thank God for the LFA team I'm coaching. I'm out of the weekend misery with Kaizer Chiefs, but we are here.
We must call you to go coach Churena.
I can do better. But anyway, with this game, I think Sundowns started very well with intentions. They were aggressive, so they kept, and then they were pressing quite high. Immediately they lose the ball, could win the ball very fast. And I think that led to the mistakes of the defense of the Sekhukhune that led to the goals. But for me right now, I think as the game progresses, they started slowing down. So I don't know. I think they slowed down. That's what gave Sekhukhune momentum. And if they are not careful, Sekhukhune will score second half.
Okay.
Because it looks like Sekhukhune came back with that momentum that we wanted to see. It's the Sekhukhune that we know. But I wish they could have utilized the chances that they got. But, it's South Africa after all. They didn't utilize that. And I want to disagree with Kataza on something. Remember when I said last time, Sundowns fans are not fair to. Now, I told you that if Rulani doesn't want, they will say they want Rulani out. And Rulani is doing well. But with this current game, I feel like this is a good rotation. Others can say it's not a rotation, it's just resting the main team. But it's a properly balanced one. Even though we don't see what Khoza could do, I feel like they told him not to be too aggressive. Like when there is tackle, over tackle, you don't see Khoza just going in. It's like he is scared of those tackles. He's scared. Even when he gets the ball, he releases the ball fast away from his feet. Maybe it's just for him to get match fitness. But I wish they could play him next week on Friday. So for me, this game is good. It's boring. It's not as intense as it started. I wish Sekhukhune could come back and give us something. But yeah, Hopela, this is me, guys, asking for the sake of time. Please, Sundown supporters, go fill up. I'm a Kaizer Chiefs fan, but I'm a South African. Please go fill up the stadium on Friday. And leave Rulani alone, guys. Don't say Rulani must go, guys. He's doing well. Guys, you can't win everything. Yes, you want to win the Champions League, but leave the guy alone. You're putting unnecessary pressure on the coach. And don't get there beside just because you're already winning. But they push the team to do well. We want Sundowns in the final, guys. So that's my say.
Kumo, when you look at your team, I'm going to just ask you that last question. When you look at your team, are there players that are maybe, I don't want to say more deserving, but should be not in this team, but in the main team, that maybe should be given chances at this point of the season?
I only got the first and the last part. Now, hopefully, I try to answer as accurately as possible. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm hoping to see Mokwena and Buthelezi play on because based on their weekend in the MDC team, they were phenomenal. And man, Mukulise and Sirino, man. But I understand the frustration and favoritism. I don't know the beef that's happening with Rulani and Surino is, but he should be starting in these matches. He should be the one that's marshalling this now. I'm happy to see Kashik playing as well. I want at least he's gonna get some game time. Maybe it's a sign or like he might be used as the impact player ahead of what is this boy? That speedy one, the AFL MVP ahead of him. But knowing how stubborn Rulani is, I know he's watching this live. Knowing how stubborn he is, whatever suggestions we made, he's gonna do the opposite and just go on until he's gonna die on the hill that he always believes in. But yeah, man, we are blessed to have a huge squad full of stars. It's a galaxy at Sundowns. But on the other hand, they also need some game time. And that is when I also disagree with Rulani. Relax, Vutlari. No one is saying Rulani must go. We're not Chiefs. We just want him to utilize all his resources that he has at his ends,
What's your score prediction?
3-2. 3-0, sorry. Mokwena's gonna score.
Hey. Let me bring in Agent. Agent, same question to you. Is there a problem with some of the other players that maybe should be resting, should be first team players, quote unquote, that are maybe not being seen as that? Is it an issue?
In the starting lineup, to be honest, okay. Let me see this. Can I do this quickly so that I can be fair to the team? If we go to the starting lineups, absolute rubbish. If we go to the team that started in Tunis, and this team that started, you look at the only lineup which is the only position which I think is questionable is the lodge part, because I think all other positions others deserve to start. I think in terms of lodge, we'd rather have Ushalulile, and Shalulile is not in the squad, and then Urubero, sometimes we forget that he's our leading goal scorer, sometimes we have been the high, in as much as he's selfish and everything, he deserves to be there, so in this squad, I feel like there are players who I believe they should, if the first team is not performing, 50th, 55th minute, 60th minute, they should be coming on before certain players, the likes of Tesh, the likes of Umorena, the likes of Umkulisi, the likes of Umayema, Umabowe, especially when we're seeing that those guys, because Allende is very small, he can't handle the intensity and that take him off the ball. Take him out and bring Umkulise, or bring modernism with Wanasi Duelman, that was his name. My boy, you know. So I think for me it's more of the subs. They should, most of the players here, they should be first substitutes, if I can put them that way, instead of the first team. Yeah.
I'm asking specifically for players. I'm asking specifically about players like Bosirino, who he's not getting a chance with the first team. He's not getting even some bench time a lot of times, but then he's not starting these games either, and he finds himself on the bench. Is that an issue, especially when you look at some of the subs that Rulani makes with Bomasego and those guys coming on instead of these others?
I think the unfair thing about Usirino that I don't like, to be honest with you, is they always put him when it has the most, you know? When we're under pressure, that's when they play him, you know? And sometimes a player won't always pitch hard when the team is under pressure, you know? Because believe me or not, I have a feeling that he's going to start on Friday, you know? And you bring him in on a semi-final that you need to win by 2 or more goals. And expect him to perform, you know? So that's the unfairness of it, that sometimes I'm like, the coach is not, you know? And lastly, on Umlungisi, I'm not his fan. That's a given, but I'm Mamelodi Sundowns fan. And as long as he keeps winning, as long as he keeps doing what he's doing, I'll support him, you know, and defend him to the latter, you know. sometimes I feel like we as Sundowns fans, because we are so used to winning, we are like a rich man's kid, you know. If he gets given I'm not a car person, but if he's given a Bugatti instead of a Ferrari, he complains.
Oh,
when some things don't happen, we kind of complain, you know, but which I get. Like I said, it's a spoiled child syndrome, which is understandable. So yeah.
Now I always call it champagne problems. What is your prediction for the game? What?
I'm still traumatized by last week. So I don't know. 2-1, hopefully.
Okay. That hopefully came from a different place. Let me go to Kataza. Before I say that, guys, the game is back on. Add 45 minutes to whatever my timer says. It is 2-0 to Mamelodi Sundowns. Second half has started. I see we're on 14.7. Can we get to 15,000? Then I'll keep it open and everybody can just roll in. It's just 300 likes. Tick, tick, tap the screen. Kataza, is there an issue with sometimes we see a Lodge, for example, playing a lot of games, even though he hasn't been very good. But then we also see when we do the substitutions, Masego comes in, whereas you have players like Bosirino, you have players like Bomendieta, Tash looks very good as a young player, Bomabena played well. Is there an issue that it seems as though he's not integrating the good players of the B team, quote unquote, into the first team?
They started with Lodge because now it's a quick one. We are very true. You ask the other guys, which guys deserve to be in the A team. You know, these are the guys like Usirin, Yabo. A guy like Umkuli was groomed by Pete. That guy's been there, my brother, through everything that we have won. Okay, maybe he's not that old in terms of age, but he's not that young anymore. That's a senior player. If you talk about a senior player, a guy who has been there probably close to a decade now through Sundown structures. But when you are going to try and win the biggest trophy on the continent, is maybe sitting on the stands or if he doesn't get on the plane. I'm not understanding. So for me, my brother, Rulani is making some cardinal mistakes. So, for an example, okay, we have Escovala Mlande ngo January, we have Mendieta, we have Usirin. And then he leaves all of those players. He goes to Pirates to get Lodge. Now, what logic? Now, where's the logic? I just want us to talk about the logic. Not that I'm harping on Lodge.
Just to jump in, sorry. It's a penalty to Sekhukhune. He's stepping up versus February. Let's see if all of those times that February has been with Williams has rubbed off on him. Apologies, Kateza, you can carry on there. Sorry about that.
Hey, I wish Williams was there. You know what was going to happen. But let's give February a chance. But basically, I hear some of the guys like Uvutlari, no Tatum, Zalaba. They don't like my view. Gutu Rulani must score if he doesn't win. Guys, we've won the league. Pitso won the league. How many times before he left? Umangoba, I think he was about to win the league before they demoted him. Rulani has won the league. That's not what we don't buy Alende for 60 million in South America to win something that we've won the last 7 times. You understand? We are trying to win something that we haven't won close to a decade now. I think 2016 is close to other people. For me, I've been waiting for 8 years, my brother. Now to get a guy like Rulani just messing with the team, buying who bought Mbule to Sundowns? Who bought Mbule to Sundowns for him to sit on the bench? It was him, my brother. So Rulani must rotate the team well, use the experience we have from Osirino, from Opito. I'm happy to see Libusa also playing today. He must use the experience that we have so that we can win what we need to win. Because if Rulani can win the next 5 league titles, We want to win. I think Al Ahly will laugh at us. United would laugh at us. We are ranked number 1 in Africa as we speak, but we can't win the Champions League. Why? Every time at the end, can you? So imagine, guys, Uloch was chilling well at Parents. He's just gonna come in and skip everyone in the team and start the biggest team of the last 8 years for Sundown. How is that fair? With no experience, Uloch has never played the Champions League semi-final. But we have players that have played that competition, but they are on the bench. So where's the logic there, my brother?
Okay. For time's sake, I'm just going to have to jump in there. What's your score prediction, Kataza?
I obviously, February didn't do the things. So I'll take a 3-1 and go to sleep.
Okay, no. Thank you. Okay, guys, so just a score update. It is 2-1 right now. Sekhukhune United was given a penalty, which was converted by Ohizu. And now they're doing the thing that I said that PSL teams do. Kanbavuga, you let defense nabo. Same Brian Onyango, same everything. Now they're taking advantage. It might be too late. Let me bring in Vutari. Vutari, Vutari, tell me, when we speak about personnel and picking personnel, is Rulani including the right players in the quote-unquote first team, where you look at the subs, Vutari's off. I'll make the point. Where you look at the subs and you go, we know that Cirino is a quality player, right? We know Cirino is a quality player. Heban. Is Jody off? Is Jody going to come off? Who's going to be keeper now? Huh? Wait, is Jody coming off, Vele? He's done for. Hey, let's see if Brian Onyango can inherit that, can use that surname. What's going on? Anyway, so before I let the next people in, we did get to 15,000. Thank you guys so much. You question those type of things where I had said that Lodge doesn't look like he fits right now in that team, right? Not his problem. He just got there. He's less than 6 months into that team. So maybe he doesn't fit. Why play him? Why play him at the end? Why play him now when everything is hot? When you have Avo Cirino, who have been giving you performances every now and then when it comes to playing. They've been coming on, they've been having good cameo performances. But then you take them off and you don't give them the chances. So you see Masego, we know Masego is very one-dimensional. Maybe in this time, you don't go to the one-dimensional player, you play the other people, Bo Esquivel, Bo Mangmang, who have starred at points in the season. Now you see Cirino's not even playing for the quote-unquote B team. So what happens then? But let me open up. Let me open. I did make a promise that I was going to have it open. Guys, remember that in order to join the panel, you have to be following me. And in this part of the conversation, as we're going to have it now, Sekhukhune, in this part of the conversation, guys, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to get off your thoughts. We're just going to keep it rolling and keep people coming in like that. So, Malome Kutso, welcome.
Mr. Uti, bashapapina basimane bare alishe laba bemayo alishe mama alishe laba bemayo azole zolo after zolo. What's what is zolo mona ko Sundowns? Give up Prince. If you know Prince, went to the High Court fighting for marijuana. And Coach Rulani is there, representing marijuana. Taka party.
Mara. Hey, Mara.
Mr. Uti, I'd like to greet everyone. Today, it's my partner's birthday. So,
happy, man, happy.
Yeah, Auntie Poo to come up birthday.
Yeah.
But
Auntie Poo's outing. Hey.
Outing, she's here, she's listening. She's a member also. Because I'm a member in community property. But anyway, what's scary is, as I'm a football team, Mr. Uti, they go into a mode in trauma sometimes.
Okay.
And I'm worried with what happened against Swallows is coming back to haunt the Sundowns. And as much as it might be a dubious penalty or goal that was not seen to be coming, the fact that they find themselves 2-1 up in the history of a team that recovered from 2 goals down, I think not only will it play into Sekhukune's mentality, but also into Sundowns' mentality. But I also had a question when people spoke about a low block or a parked pass. When Sundowns moves the ball at the back, does it mean they are playing at the back or do they have an intention to draw in the opponent? And I know the latter is the response. When teams drop back, knowing which Aziz will score a controversial goal, is it not also a strategy to get the Sundowns out and uncomfortable? Same goes for Esperance. And people who are saying Esperance and Yanga play the low block, those people who are taking Sundowns and will could have scored 4. Both teams could have scored 4 goals the way we were taking Sundowns. So I just wanted to correct that part to say we can't see Esperance.
But then, Malume, I just want to ask you on that point. Are we still giving them the benefit of the doubt that Sundowns is throwing out some of these teams? Because for me, I started with that saying that this is all part of the plan. But then as the season went on, I'm like, hey, I don't know if it's I don't know if this is how the plan is meant to play out, but they don't look as comfortable.
It takes 21 days, Mr. Otsi, to establish a habit. It's not clockwork. You can't just snap out of it. If you do something over and over and over and over, it becomes a habit, and then you have to work on Oksugagul. You understand? And they're finding out late that maybe they need to go back to that group of actually playing proper and breaking down these teams. Suddenly they're complaining about low block. So Sundowns have been playing against low block since second season Gapito, where they were clapping teams. 5, 6. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Understand? So as into HIA, they should be breaking it willy-nilly. But because they thought which they're preparing for CAF in 2020, they've now gone into that cycle. And unfortunately, they didn't know which they would also have to prepare for teams attacking them or plugging players. How do you react when you have to now play in the opponent's half, but also with the idea that the opponent might attack you? Yeah, I understand. Which they only face, I guess, 2 teams. I'd say 1, but I'd be hard on Stellies. They only faced it about 4 times a season this side, or this season. They've only faced it 2 times against the Pirates. So I think it's a matter of habit, and they can't break out of it.
Okay. Score prediction?
How come we should watch it 3-2?
3-2. Is it going to be a 2-2 to 3-2, or is it going to be a 3-1 to 3-2?
Hey, Mr. Ozi, now one hour to 3-2, huh?
Is that down there?
No block.
Okay.
They are parking the pass.
Let me go to Tony Kanabari Erzl. Welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Sharp, hot man.
No stress, Tony. Welcome. Tony, we won us one game, and do you have any comments to make about what we've been speaking about during this game?
Yeah, so I game I'm a Sundowns, to be honest. This last games in J, I'm convinced, man, it's been about inconsistency. Now I want to Waka Champions League, ne?
Okay.
And I think Rulani Tlamelerem drop if only it doesn't deliver the Champions League, because Wakasheba, the very same situation. If you compare as PSG, sometimes the PSG flop every time. If it's a win Champions League or size anything, every time they change managers because they know every time they can win League One every season. It's the very same thing at Sundowns. Every season they can win dstv premiership, but the main thing is Champions League because Bashebile and Chelsea by investing.
Yeah.
They bring a lot of players. And something Ege Shebile Nika Coach Rulani, it's just orang Tamele once in his life admit or sometimes Tamela substitute Alende.
Yeah.
Because as I was watching that first leg, semi-final, like every time Paulo Neluziwa Mantung high. Every time Alenda Swara Paul, Paulo to lose. So when it comes to Serino, it's just for Serino showing he was a key player, Coach Pitso. So understand now the point is like Uzama producer the South American players you understand. And as a sharing experience, because now according to this season, Serino Kena Mocho Natahona like a break it down that defense. So not to overshot Hotman like if
no, Maratoni, give us something. So, how we work at Champions League right now towards the end of the season? Is it a case where getting tournaments already born throughout the season? It's just that we didn't mind them because Sundowns was winning, and then now the Tabatadi favoritism, the Tabatadi player that don't come out and things like that. They are now because it's Champions League time.
Yeah, can totally necessarily be honest. Just sometimes as a relevant to tend over ignorant because as much as now, obvious Tembikosi Lodge as a Champions League player. Okay, it's fine. No, is trying by all means because now assign a Tembikosi Lodge, all the fans we thought it's over bench, it's over benching. So he's trying to like prove wrong or no, no tlamela affluent but bang odlala. Shalulini number 8 in pension first thing first. Understand? So how do you expect even though formation enadlala kayona, even Zwani nasadlali kamkhwatlo esingadeni because he was like nasale no gaming. Understand? So now Hotman can knock what to say. If only last I leave Friday, I just can't wait for Friday. I think they must give someone else chance because Kaso win the very same trophy. No.
Okay.
So I think in Jam maybe management at Sundowns, if maybe I can share about how PSG runs the club. At least he has been trying. Even last season, semi-final Willard. Okay, sharp. Ola akutla vele. That the last minute. Immediately Kamelo maybe at least Khutisa maybe substitute a striker, maybe a defensive midfielder. Understand? That's why after mobile Baba Shapile ka pressure. So my Hotman la kai.
Yeah. Guys, prediction how it fellas one came in.
2-2.
2-2.
Yeah.
Okay. No, Tony, thank you so much. Lebza, I speak both. My home language is Soweto, but I grew up go Kasi. Johannesburg Kasi. So you know why you have to speak Zulu or some form of a mixture of it. Guys, please, if you have not followed, please follow. I'm going to keep it rolling. So you have to be following me in order to jump in so we can have conversations during the game. It's currently in the 65th minute. Sundowns 2-1 up, but Sekhukhune has been pressing. And I want to go back to what I said. This is the same defense that Sekhukhune played in the first half. Same defense. Do you know what happened? They came into this game and they were like, no, it's Sundowns. No, it's this. No. Anyway, let me go to Futare. Futare, I'm going to allow you to finish your point, but then I also want to hear what you think about some of the convos we've been having now.
Oh, it's interesting. Look, for me, I think the way the game is progressing, Now it's pound for pound. And Sekhukhune, it's all over Sundowns. Like Sekhukhune is all over Sundowns. Sundowns is looking to be cracking, and they're moving the ball fast in the final third with Sekhukhune, so which is good. So, but for me, I would have loved to see Sereno playing this game. But look, it's a balanced team, and it's so sad right now that when you look at how they are playing, they're being challenged, which it's what they needed. I think that's what they needed. That's what they wanted to watch. A team that will press them high, a team that will put them under pressure. They will move the ball very, very fast. And there's something that maybe we are missing.
Yeah.
Sundown defense is doing terrible when they are playing with fast front three. If you look at Experience, front three of Experience was very fast. Experience will play low as kind of a low block, but when they break and they move out of that break, they run like crazy. They run like headless chickens. And you will say that Sundown's defense is breaking. Now they're forced to commit. They're forced to give unnecessary fouls. So that's where the problem is. But I'm proud of Sekhukhune. What they're doing, it's more than good. I think that's what Sundowns needs. And it's giving Rulani the mindset of saying, I need to change things. I might need to, when the team plays like this, I might have to come with this player, come up with a strategy that will work for a low block and a fast-paced team, more special on the final third. Last thing, I told you, I said this few weeks ago. Again, I'm saying, and the only person that agreed with me, I think it was agent. Sundowns fans are panicking, unnecessarily so. Panicking, saying sorts of things, making unfounded allegations. Look, now because the things are not going well, or I can't say they're not going well, they're not getting the results that they're used to. Now they want to say, they want in the favorism card into the picture. Now they want Rulani car out. Look, that's not going to help. And trust me, if Sundowns were to chuck Rulani out next season.
But Butlari,
because
isn't this where we start having conversations about how committed Sundowns is to this thing of the Champions League? So I say it to say, the guys that they're competing with at the Champions League, Ahly, all of those guys, they are willing. They're willing to cut a coach. They're willing to go, coach. Auswinelang Champions League. Sometimes, in some cases, we dead coaches, when they don't get that thing, they quit themselves. Does this open a conversation about, does Sundowns take this seriously? And do they have to take the mold of the Al-Alis of the world, where they look at the coach and say, yes, you've won the league, yes, but you know where we want to go, and we're going to be ruthless about it. Is this starting to show that maybe Sundowns and Sundowns fans in particular are getting to that point, some of them?
Look, I think we're not going to compare with the North. I think Zamalek tried to do that, firing the coach because of not winning the Champions League, or of not getting into the semi-final of the Champions League. Look what Zamalek gets. Eventually, it will crack. We're not going to compare ourselves with the likes of Ahly. I think Ahly can buy their way out of everything as much as Sundowns can. But look, with the style of play of Sundowns, when a new coach comes in, let's say they fire Rulani, we don't know which coach they will bring. Tells that the coach was not going to want 50% of the players. Most of these players are not playing the way they want them to play. You are likely for the first season to get a bad season before a good season the following season. So for me, I feel like, yes, you need the Champions League desperately, but why can't you give Rulani a chance? I think it's his first season or second season now. So just give him a chance. If maybe he doesn't, he won you an AFL, for which if you want to put in the argument of return of investments, the AFL brought that back, the returns of investments. So now I think if you want the Champions League desperately, it might lead to the collapse of Sundowns, because now the fans will, Sundowns fans will start becoming like a Chiefs fans, Because the downfall of Kaizer Chiefs is us fans, where we complain over everything. We don't want this player must go. So you start putting unnecessary pressure on the players. So it's very, very dangerous. I don't agree with it.
Okay.
And so I feel like it's time now the fans face the reality. And the last thing before I forget, I wanted to say it's
very quickly.
North African, they get support from their leagues. I should say, if you can go check Al Ahly, they suspend all their games the week that they're playing the Champions League. They make sure that those games are suspended, even if they are behind with so many games. They put the Champions Leagues ahead of everything else. But what happens to the PSL? PSL does not care whether you play today, you skip one day, you play Champions League. They want you to honor the features. So those are the few different things that you can see with the North African and us in the SADC. It's North Africans, the Premiership supports the Champions League and allow the team to rest. But here in South Africa, it doesn't happen. So we could argue that Sundowns does not get enough time to train for the games.
Very quickly, score prediction. It's gone. Okay. 72 minutes in, guys. It's 2-1 to Mamelodi Sundowns. Sekhukhune has been playing. They're running out of steam. They're starting to run out of steam. But it's what I'm gonna say it again. This is the same defense they played in the first half, and they chose not to go at them. Now that they're going at them, they're starting to see good damn, and these guys are human. But let me not go there. Agent, there's some points that have been made from the panelists now in the second half. I'm enjoying these conversations.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about some of the things that were spoken about here?
Let me start by saying...
Kutsie injury.
Why are you playing him beyond the 70th minute?
Kutsie injury. He's sitting down and calling. Anyway, you were saying?
But anyways, ever since I met you, I think I've told you that opinions are like something, eh?
Your favorite thing.
So even when some are like, smellier than others, I will have to accept them, you know? Because you're making a good point that maybe the example you should give maybe is Al Ahly, that Al Ahly, you don't win CAF, you're gone. Fair enough. Right? But once you mention PSG, how many coaches have been at PSG? How many top players have they signed?
That's true.
And they haven't won the Champions League. And then sometimes things for me is things are binary. I mean, things are not always black and white. Under Pitso, how long? Okay, fine. Let's given that he was rebuilding the team, right? So let's ignore the period before then. Let's start at the period where he won the Champions League.
Yeah.
How many semi-finals has he gotten after that?
I don't believe it.
You know, I think it was only one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And others were quarters. Which spans over 5 or 6 years. And that is a championship winning coach. And you bring in a youngster, relatively inexperienced. You must put into context that in his first season, he gets a semi-final. In his second season, he's also in the semi-final.
And unbeaten in the league.
Yes, that is progress, international. And he's already won an international cup. Call it an African Makufe Cup, but it was either of the best teams. You know? Yes, we're spending as much. Sometimes people think that Coach Pitso was not spending. And even worse with Coach Pitso would buy players for the sake of disturbing other teams' progress. You know, he'll buy players and send them on loan. At least with coach Rulani, he's taking out Hamilton, playing those players. You know, sometimes we forget that it was Pitso who signed Saavedra. Where is he? Signed Brookie. Where is he? That's the thing that I'm against. That sometimes you look at a player and say, you signed a player for 50 million, one player, but how many players have he signed of such value? Let's add the total of all players bought by Pitso, and let's add by those bought by Coach Rulani. If you buy 2 players for 60 million, that's 120. But if you buy 8 or 9 players for 160, you still spent more. You know, so for me, we should not be that harsh on Rulani, because for me, that's why I keep saying that the next step that he has to get to is a final. If next season he doesn't get to a final, then is when you can start asking questions.
But that's why I want to make it more of a conversation outside of Rulani, because I think when we put names to it, there's feelings that come with it. I want to ask about Mamelodi Sundowns. As somebody said, it's almost a decade since they won the Champions League. Is there what is the tipping point where Sundowns goes, but seriously, guys, when you sign for Sundowns, whether it's Rulani, whether it's who comes after Rulani, at what point does Sundowns go, this is a must? And secondarily to that question, do they need to go there? Seeing the type of people that they're competing with.
That's the thing that I keep saying, that Rome is not built in a day. I'm going to say something controversial, but it's the truth.
Okay.
Chiefs are still the Cup Kings of South Africa. We may be better than them now, but still the Cup Kings of South Africa. We may be competing, and Ahly might be picking the bus against us, but Ahly is 2-3 layers ahead of us. Our aspirations are to get to the Ahly level. We are not yet there. We are competing with them, but you're not at that level yet.
Yeah.
You know, right now, it's a case of we are progressing.
Okay.
The big goal with Motsepe has always been, I want to dominate African football, given. Right? But before you can dominate Africa, you have to dominate SA. Right? So now, what we have done is, we have dominated SA. Our next step is we want to dominate
Africa,
you know? So now, what we have to do is, at this point that we are in, winning a league at Sundowns, at some point, it was not a sackable offense. You win a cup, but you don't have to win the league, you won't be sacked. Right? That was the stage that we're in. Now, the stage that we are at is, if you don't win the league, you are out. At CAF, that stage will come, but it's not now. We are going there, but it's not now. So we must not. It's a thing that I keep saying to people, that sometimes you must not feed a baby solid food. Let the baby enjoy his powdered milk first. The thing is, we are a generation which likes instant things, instant porridge, instant cereal, instant whatever. There is a process that needs to be followed, and I think Sundowns is on the right track. Why do you keep playing Kotsia that this is injured? But anyways,
but I like the convo, but I want to take it here. Is one of the problems that has happened? Not the problems, but is one of the factors that maybe Sundowns is still too personal with the coaches. Rulani was an under-19 coach. You know, Rulani was brought in by Coach Pitso. There's a connection to Rulani. And why I'm saying this right now is when we look at Kaizer Chiefs, I think Kaizer Chiefs started going wrong when we got personal. You know, Coach Steve, he used to do this and what. Atazwane is a coach who's come up through Chiefs. Whereas when we were winning our trophies, you weren't going to get 3 years with Kaizer Chiefs. 2 years, fired, they move on to the next person. It's not personal. When you look at Ahly, I don't think Ahly is personal with their coaches. Each job. You've come here for a job, you need to do something. Could there be part of that playing into why it might be hard to get rid of Rulani? And could it be something that later on becomes an issue, if that makes sense?
I think it's a interesting point because I look at it and say, but when Coach Rulani wanted to get rid of Mangoba and Steve, even though with the latter he succeeded, what did Sundowns say to him? You know, like, you don't do that, boy. Yeah, we don't do that. When Coach, not Coach, but when Klopi and what is his name? The TD sat down and said, "Hi, man, we need someone to be held accountable for the result." And the results were not coming well, and they gave Coach Mangoba the boot and say, "My guy, now you are assistant. Rulani is the head coach, so that you know who we blame when the results go wrong." You know, so I think we have a team which is not afraid of making big decisions. That's why I say we are at the door that you want us to be at. I don't think Rulani will survive 2 years if he doesn't win CAF. I doubt that. You know, but what I would say to you is perhaps the question I would agree with you is I doubt they'll fire him. I think they'll demote him.
I was gonna say that.
You know, I think there is, I don't know if it's a clever strategy or if it's a bad strategy, because now there's that continuity, if I can put it that way, you know, with someone at the helm, there's that continuity. If he decides to go, there's Loftman there, you know, and already Batela, the DDC coach, is there also, you know. So Mangoba, Rulani goes, they're like, Batela, you've been in the system for now, it's high time. So I think it is, in as much as we are developing our young players, we are also developing our coaches who fit to our style, who know the culture. So that you don't have to go outside and come with someone who's going to learn the culture and think too much. I think that helps with continuity.
Okay. Look, it's an interesting convo. I'm just having the conversation from the point of view of I still feel like, and again, Sundowns could go and win the Champions League this year. I just feel as though you are competing with ruthless people. It's what I say about Arsenal a lot. You're competing with ruthless people. You're competing with people that have figured out a system where they can hire and fire and do all of these things and maintain that level, right? And I think, you know, we saw the budgets. I believe Al Ahly's yearly budget allegedly is $80 million a year on their own, just to go out and do this. We know that in order to keep that level up, they hire and fire coaches and bring in coaches that fit. I think when people talk about hiring and firing, they often look at it from the point of view of you are breaking something. Whereas the teams that hire and fire, and because they understand themselves so much, they know that the person they're bringing in is going to fit, right? So is Sundowns at the level where they are ruthless? You see, PSL, they are ruthless, you know, but to take that next level, and it's not to say that they have to do this. The reason why I'm asking this question is also, should they? You don't get rid of Mangoba, he's still sitting there. You still have Rulani who came up under Pitso, you still have all of those things. Do you carry on relying on that even in the face of 10 years, let's say, without a Champions League? Or is there a tough conversation that needs to be had? But the other question I wanted to ask you while you were here about the something that was said previously. Are we seeing, is the stakes of the Champions League exposing issues within Sundowns that maybe we overlooked because they were doing so well when there was no pressure?
Before I go there, the reason I got into the platform is I saw somewhere that Rulani was pleading with the fans to stop booing, if I can put it that way, Mandela when he touches the ball, you know.
Hey, but he's not helping.
Yeah, you know, and I think it's not the first time I mentioned this. Even at the stadium, sometimes I mention that these people are in Rulani. That's how jittery the fans are, you know. And if heaven, did Coach Rulani change his shirt? Okay, but anyways, my problem with Sundowns fans is, yes, you're allowed to be frustrated, but if teams are to see that you get jittery, they'll expose that. You know, imagine a full stadium, you're booing your own player. Like, it doesn't help, you know. And even with coach, yes, you can boo a decision, not boo him. There's a difference between booing a decision and booing the man, you know.
Okay.
If you are to boo Mandela's for the penalty, I understand, but to do that continuously is not helping anyone, you know. Hence, in a full stadium, this team fails at times because we don't give them support. We keep quiet when it's tough. We suffer with the team. So I think that is something that needs to be worked on as fans, you know. But anyways, it's a conversation.
Before you go into the comment, guys, it's open, guys. You guys can jump in there in the comments. You can jump in and have a convo. Come in and join the convo. Hey, that's why I'm looking around, but you are not jumping in. They don't want to jump in and speak. I don't know what's happening.
So, what was the question again before I give you
the question was, you know, everything that people are complaining about right now about Coach Rulani, is it maybe that the Champions League and this cutthroat time of the season is exposing things that maybe were always there? It's just that, you know, they were winning, times were nice, nobody cared.
No, I think for some of us we cared, but we understood. Last year, the fancied Diamond, and I say that at times we've played Diamond without people playing Diamond, but
yes, you played Diamond a lot these past few games, a lot.
But what we forget is with Diamond we're conceding a lot. It was nice, it was good, but we're conceding a lot. The Diamond is what cost us the semi-final. The so-called beautiful football is what cost us the semi-final. The so-called trying to, even when you are leading 1-0, you don't manage the game, you want to pass the team out of possession, you want to keep playing even though you are leading. That's what cost us the semi-final last season. So you have a coach who says, I've learned from experience, I'm going to learn how to kill games. But this team doesn't know how to kill games. So we have to practice it. Hence we develop the habit of we score 1, we score 2, we kill the game off. Was it a bad habit? Yes, it was. But do you understand the rationale behind it? Yes, because we had to learn that it's not always that a team will open for us, like PSL teams. So you need to learn how to manage a game when you're doing 1-0. So you put yourself in situations such that they present a real life scenario, you know. That's what we did the entire time, and people didn't mind that, you know. Now it's the same conversation that I had some weeks back where he said people are saying Lodge, Zwane, Ribeiro, what, give them back, they'll play well. Rulani played them well, it didn't work out, and then people come back, no, you must understand that in football, understand the rationale behind a decision. If it makes sense, then you support it. If it doesn't work out, you still support it because you are supporting the rationale behind it, not necessarily the decision, but the rationale. You know, I feel like we support end results as fans. If something works, good. If a team wins, good. If team doesn't win, bad. But it's not always like that. Understand the decision behind what is the process and support it, so that even whatever result you still support it because you understood it. So for me, I'll never blame Rulani for the way we have played this season, because we understood that we're going to have a lot of games. We had to conserve energy, and for exactly the same reason that we had to conserve energy, so that we don't get tougher. Because the reason why we always get out of this stage is because at this time we've played so many games, we have exhausted ourselves so much, and we are tired. While other teams we are playing with, that, like what I said, they have played less games. Experience between December and now have played 15 games. We had played 22. And you have to factor in the AFCON break also. Our players were playing, So sometimes we put these things into context, but we don't want to do that. But what can we do?
I want to ask you some more, but I want to bring people in. Let me go to Vutari. Vutari, what point did you want to address?
Look, I want to address the same thing that Agent did speaking about. Agents most of the time it's like they speak my mind, and I think you also mentioned this. We mentioned this a few months ago, that if we were to look at Sundowns, the way they used to play, even in the PSL, would be when they're 2-0 up, 2-1 up, they were able to delay the game. They've adapted into wasting time as well in certain instances, but they know how to make sure that they end up winning the game. It's not the Sundowns that we used to see last season, where they'll play the same whether they're winning or drawing. And if you remember, there was games where Sundowns was very under pressure, but you could see that Sundowns it's killing the game, adding more defenders, stopping to play very aggressively. They'll play slowly and not move the balls too fast so that they kill the game. Those are the things that we really wanted to see from Sundowns. Even in the AFL, there's games where Coach Rulani said, look, we have to kill the game, and the game was killed. So those are the things that he is improving on, the team is improving on. Even most recently, if you could see the games that Sundowns they're drawing or the games that they're winning, once they score 2, you can tell Sundowns is not as aggressive as how they started. They reserve energy sometimes. So those are things that we need to look at, and we need to understand that when you play the Champions League, it's so sad. I don't know if it's sad or the PSL just doesn't care. I say this again. When Yanga played Sundowns, they cancelled one of their games so that they can fly early to South Africa.
Yeah.
Did that happen to Sundowns? No. Rulani has to play with the team, finishes, fly to wherever they're flying to, get there, the players have to rest. They don't even have time for training. They can only prepare with video sessions. They can only prepare with video sessions, and they don't get time on the pitch. And I think those things have been said over.
They shouldn't have played this long.
Those things have been said over and over again. So
But then Vutari, can I push back? And it goes back to the question that I asked about. It's 10 years now. So yes, we're complaining about these things, but to be fair, it shouldn't be new to Sundowns. And back to the original question is that it feels as though what's happening is, and again, it's an over-exaggeration. I'm just using it as an example. What's happening is that now we're seeing that, here's the depth here, Sundowns is not actually, it's deep, but there's 3, 4, 5 positions where they struggle when somebody's not there. That hasn't been addressed. we look at things like both Sirino sitting on the bench and we go, Sirino's on the bench, this guy's doing this, why isn't he playing? Then you're like, hi man, Karen, now there's favoritism that people are pointing to, right? I see Vitar is off. But are we not then making excuses for excuses' sake? And maybe sometimes it is time to question Rulani, but nobody wants to question him. It is time to question some of his choices, but nobody wants to question him and go there. Are we giving too much benefit of the doubt because we're close to the situation? You guys, I'm looking at the time. Montana, welcome to the show. How are you? Hey, sorry, Vitari. Montana, are you with me? Okay, let me go to Kolani. Kolani, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yes.
Oh, Montana, there we go.
Yes, I'm here.
On which one?
I'll touch play Sundowns. Nangona events zingathandi keze Sundowns. Mr. DK abathanda isikhusithethe ngale Sundowns. I've watched the game, my brother. I think Rulani was listening to us yesterday. When we were talking about Sundowns, I think this time they tried to control the game. Because as you can see, there was not that much tempo. Because the players, I think the players are thinking about the Friday match, the CAF match. When I missed the old.
Oh, Montan, network. Okay, I'm going to take this chance then to just update everybody, guys. The match is done. 2-1 win to Mamelodi Sundowns. They now move, still number one. They go to 17 wins, 5 draws, 0 losses, still unbeaten, and they're going to be sitting on 56 points. Well, they are still on 56 points right now. Sekhukhune has gotten their first loss in 5 games. They played well in the second half, but like I always say, when you start playing at the end after you've conceded, the chances of you winning versus the Sundowns team at the end like that goes away. Now they're going to kick themselves and think, we could have done something, but it's because 45 minutes was donated. Let me go to Kolani. Kolani, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Yeah, Sibonga uthi ngiyaphila bese how's it?
No, I'm here. I'm good. Tell me, which point did you want to jump in on? I think we're going to analyze the game tomorrow.
I go Nick uthi. Okay. I think we had a good first half. We sidlala amabhola early because first team yethu, what I've been complaining about ukuthi we have too many touches ebholeni. We tend to pass very late. But first half namhlanje we make the passes on time. Mayivulekile defense sikwazile ukuthi try and be quick playing forward. Second half Mbuli was playing every pass backwards. Like Mbuli was playing a negative football namhlanje. So kwabonakala nokuthi players badinga game time. It was 70 minutes wonke umuntu beselimala. I think bekumele ngene early Mr. Uthi kusakhona amanye ama-point akhona good handle well yeah bengiminyile Mr. Uthi okunye sezobhedelela kusasa. Sharp.
At least uminya kusebenzile. Let me go to Uvelile Mtakama, welcome.
Bafo.
Abantu abakhuluma minye. Hey.
Hayi mina ngibangela abantu bazibanyamalele nabo boqolana nje. Baze bakhishwa abongile Thobo.
Yazivelile ngiyaqala ukubona i-team unbeaten eligini. Mara abantu
Hey.
bamike nje.
Bakababinyile la bantu. Iyahlekisa le ndaba ngoba bahlala sikhuluma la egrupini. Labantu bahlala bathi hey league asinandaba nawe just siyapractice kuphela uyafocus ku-Africa. But today namhlanje baza bakhuluma ngegame ancoma ukuthi bantswembe eligini. Hey ngezwe impela nabo agent phela sebancoma ukuthi i-K yabona lama soncoma i-Kaizer ukuthi i-cupcakes ngesikhaleni wazi ukuthi kunzima. Yabona.
Yo, velile ufuna ukungena kuyiphi? Hey phela sikhulumile
No
today.
man. Hayi akukhulunywe mntaba but no mina bengingafuni ukukhuluma kakhulu. Bengimingele nje ukuthi umthetho wami ngiyazi izinto lento yaqala ngama ngithi. Ngaqala ngokuthi ubreak record. Loan i-coach yabo kuchipa le ayohlala nabo CJ e-Eastern Cape ngesikhathi se-COVID when was and he came back a stronger man. And then we were also in charge of making that reshuffle when he get the permanent post as the full-time coach. But we were in charge of that reshuffle. So on Friday, Tunis is gonna finish it off, and Group Nedbank, I'm gonna finish what I've started. When I make sure that the reshuffles happen, whether they like it or not. Make sure we are saying reshuffle. The latest in Kalidela.
Hey, man.
Hey, Batatazela. Yes, I'm afraid.
Velile. Let me bring him Malume Kutso. Welcome, my bro. Hey.
Umasaikala bo Pitori.
Yeah.
How is the weather that side?
I don't know, but there's a big moon. I don't know where this moon comes from on Supersport, but it's fine.
What's happening?
It's okay. Akbandi that much, man. It's moderate weather.
Because I'm going to coach you when you hoodie inside. So I have a skip. Like, yeah, they are feeling it. I can say more. Is that allowed, man? I'm not going to go looking into the rules. What you want to talk into inside?
I can't remember Canada.
No, I went and Googled. They apparently they run a campaign in town. So vele ichis letsabu lena. Ichis yamatekwa. Taga. They're smoking taga. They're promoting taga. So we must have a discussion. Ukuthi vumelekile lento le eyenza yilo coach uthi aqoke into etaga. But anyway, today they packed the bus. They learned to go through. They might need to do it, Mr. Uti, over the weekend.
Yeah.
And also, they got sensitized. I won't say they discovered, but they got sensitized to Iapitiga Morris. With what they're looking for, Gumafeko. Or Morris, Matthews rather, has it and more.
Yeah.
That pace, that application of pressure,
the decision making.
So, in as much as they want to surprise my opponents in the pace, this coming weekend, they can look to Matthews for that. So, for a game, all in all, so no Morena, final.
Yeah.
He had lost his pack for some time. So today they discovered two players in Tick Lock Paki Pass. Productive day for Sundowns, I think.
Okay. No, thank you so much. We'll go deeper into the analysis tomorrow, guys. For those who are new, the show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. And then Fridays at 12:30 in the afternoon. It's not just reviews and watch-alongs. The watch-alongs obviously happen when there's games. We review usually the day after, but then we have deeper conversations. Similar, you got a taste of it during this game here. So if you have not followed, click on that follow button. Malums.
Okay.
Tell me about this game, Malums. Welcome.
Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy that we can finally put this thing to bed. We need to finish this league so that we can concentrate on bigger things. I was personally not worried about the Sekhukhune. I was happy with the early goals. I still believe
but I need to go and check again to the thing. But I think Abongile does not love us. I'm not sure about the penalty thing, but I think Abongile does not love us. But all in all, OT, I'm happy. I'm happy for the team. I'm happy for the fans. I'm so sorry again about maybe the other teams that are still trying whatever the means that they have in their disposal to discourage us for this weekend. I know. I hope to see you, Uti, maybe this weekend you're gonna close the program and go and join us at stadium to go and see
I
the
was
quality
trying
football.
to go do the show from the stadium. I was trying.
But OT, good game. I'm grateful. Thanks for the 3 points. Yeah, thanks you.
No, thank you, Malums. Fundo, last one up. How are you, my brother?
So how was it?
I'm right. Game, Fundo. What do you think of this game?
Yeah, the game was fine. I'm happy that the coach is able to.
Hey, Fundo, I think something happened there. I think you're on mute. There we go.
Where is Nasir, guys? Can anyone explain it for me?
He's at home.
He's a player, but then we should bring him back. If you can play Nasir with Matthews, you can see a good ball. They're both good when it comes to skills. They are both good when it comes to running. So I need that guy back. The thing of Brian Onyang Buffett, Brian Onyang is not a Santon material. He's not a Santon material. He's costing the team lot of
That they're
issues.
letting him go. Rumor has it that they're letting him go.
Who?
He's Sundowns. The rumor is that at the end of the season, he's leaving. Now, Bobaka Telewi.
As Sundowns fans, we need to write the list of players that we don't want. If Brian Onyang was there, Nkulise must be there, Lodge must be there, because those guys, they are killing us. They are killing us. They are killing us. Why coach does not give the young man, the Escopal, the chance to play? That guy is, it's one of the best strikers.
Okay.
I'm Kulise. No, I'm Kulise. We should borrow Kaizer Chiefs with Kulise. He's not a Santon material. Kuto, we can give it to your team. Come on.
Okay. No, you were gonna break down the game properly tomorrow, my brother. Guys,
no problem.
Let me bring in Chicho just to give us the last one. Just to give us the last one, guys. Then I'm gonna close. Chicho.
Yeah, bro.
Tell us, Chicho. Ubone ngule game. Welcome. Ubone ngule game.
Kule game kumnandi. Sibuye ngamandla manje. Friday. Siyolungisa i-mistake.
Yeah.
Iyango Saturday.
Uyayithemba le team yakho. Ngiyabona nibaphentshe bonke.
Ngiyayithemba manje. Siyowina manje.
Okay. Chicho.
Yebo.
Ithi ukubuza uyamthemba coach wakho. Last question before ngiyekela. Uyamthemba uRulani. What do you think of him?
Ngiyamthemba. I-structure sethu siyoba kahle manje. I-structure siyoba kahle.
Okay. Chicho. Uzongjo no, qeqelela lapha.
Friday siya ku-final. Noma kanjani.
Siyobona khona so yenza build up ungawari. Sokhuluma kusasa Chicho.
Sure.
Mfuna we break it down like a mixasa. Thank you, Chicho. Guys, I'd just like to say thank you to Butare. I'd like to say thank you to Kunjini, Smusiso, Lebza, Rumelelo, Butare, Malume Kuto. Thank you so much for the roses. It means a lot. Okay, the story of the game is the story of a lot of Sundowns games that we've watched. Very simple. Teams come out versus Sundowns, scared. Teams come out and look like deers in the headlights. This game got away from Sekhukhune in the first minute of the game, where they weren't ready. Their defense was not set. They did not look like they knew what they wanted to do. For that first half, after those 2 goals came in, you didn't see what Sekhukhune was trying to do. Fine, they started growing into it towards the end of the game. But now in the second half, they come out and they start playing. And lo and behold, you can actually play versus Sundowns. Believe it or not, guys. Believe it or not, you can come out and you can be positive in the game and you could possibly get something out of this game. But you can't let it go from the first minute. You're punched in the face. Now you have to try to do something. Did you see how well that Sekhukhune played at some spaces? But Sundowns is too good for you guys to want to play them for 45 minutes. They're too good for you guys to want to come out in a second half and try find 2 goals or 3 goals from somewhere. They're just too good. And what Sekhukhune found out by the 70th minute is that, yeah, you don't have the facilities, blood. You don't have the ability to go for a whole 45 minutes versus the Sundowns full throttle. And that's how Sundowns has been killing teams. They strike early, they relax. There's people joking about Sundowns playing a low block today. Do you know why? Because they've done their job. They scored their goals early, they sat back, they managed the game. This has been Sundowns' MO forever. For this season in the league, it's been their MO. Very rarely do they get out of pocket. Very rarely do they do that. So you have to give them credit as Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns, the record extends. 53 points, no losses. They are 8 games away from being unbeaten, from being invincible in our league, and 2 games away, 6 points away from winning the league. If they win the next 2 games, they're done. I saw that. So, well done. All the jealousy, all the hate, all of the comments aside, well done. It's something that hasn't been done. And all you can do is give credit where credit is due. I don't want to speak too much about Friday. We're going to build up to Friday. We're going to have shows speaking about Friday. We'll break it down very nicely. But all in all, well done to Mamelodi Sundowns. Still number 1, still unbeaten. And they go on to the CAF Champions League semi-final second leg on Friday versus ES Tunis. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Thank you to the panelists. Thank you to everybody that commented. Thank you to those who gave gifts. Thank you to those who are watching on YouTube. I see we got a good audience today. Please remember to like, follow, subscribe. Hey, click all the buttons except for anything that says unlike. And please support. I drop content as well every single day. The show is on Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. unless there's a watch-along at 7:30. And then also on Fridays, 12:30 is my members show. You were listening to some of the members. Agent is a member. Malume Kutu is a member. Rulani are members. The Velila members. You've got a snippet of the conversations that we have in full on the WhatsApp, on the official WhatsApp group, where there's no time limits. There's people sending everything. We go back and forth. It's an incredible place to speak about football and learn about football. So if you want to be part of that and be an official member of Overthinking Football, then you have to go on over to YouTube, click on subscribe, click on join. You'll gain access to the WhatsApp group. And let me tell you guys, here we go. Kalama voice note, kalama picture, kalama penta, color, all of those things. But most importantly, we all learn, because I am not the smartest person when it comes to football. There's a lot of people that know more than me, and they just so happen to be in that group. Guys, I'll see you guys then tomorrow at 7 p.m. Bye, guys.